Hey y'all, so today I'm gonna tell you about my experience of getting my tubes tied, tubes burnt, tubal litigation, whatever you want to call it. No more babies. So, I had my daughter back in November 20th, and I wanted to get my tubes tied, so I had to wait. I know, take it back. I had to sign the papers at least 30 days before. So I get the paper signed, and I asked my doctor, okay, like how long would I have to stay in the hospital? I'm already scared. I never had surgery or anything like that before. So he tells me it's just 15-20 minutes tops, and you'll be able to go home a couple hours after we make sure everything's fine. Okay, that's fine. And then he tells me be 3 small incisions, minimal scarring, and all that. Okay, that's fine. So we go in, get ready to have our daughter. Please tell me why they tell me that it's a 2-hour procedure. And let me back it up. We all go on YouTube to check other people's experience. That was not a good idea for me. Everybody I saw was crying. They was in a lot of pain. They was hurting. They couldn't walk. And I'm like, how can I go home a couple hours after seeing how bad they hurt? So I go in. We have our daughter. And the nurses come back in and tell us like, okay, you'll be pushed down, not literally, but taken down to pre-op morning of 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm ready for that. We go down the next morning. Well, when they come in and get me, they tell me that they're gonna use the same place I had my epidural. They're gonna push the medicine in right there. Okay, that was fine because I never been put to sleep. I never really want to use the mask because I know you're gonna be knocked out, and I don't want to do that. I just want to be awake, alert, know what's going on, and basically I don't want to die. In my mind, that's what I thought. So I'm in there. It's dark. It looks like the old morgue, basically, and that scared the shit out of me. So I'm in there by myself. My husband's upstairs waiting for me to come back. I'm in there. It's like me and the doctor who brought me down. She walks away, leaving me. The nurse comes over, and that's the only person I see. I'm the only one down there. There's no lights on. It's really like the little headlight that goes over the nurse's desk, and I'm like right in front of the desk, which is the pool curtain, but there was all the light that was down there. So I'm in there waiting, and the man comes in, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna push the medicine in through your epidural tube or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to be put to sleep. He's like, oh no, you don't have to be put to sleep. We're just gonna do it this way. No, not my luck. It didn't work that way. When it's time for me to get my procedure done, I'm in the operating room. And they're like, okay, we're going to put you on the table. Mind you, it's giant lights in there. Like I'm some kind of science project. I never had an operation, so I'm pretty sure it's normal. But I switched beds. And he's like, oh, can you feel your feet? Can I just tap the bottom of your foot and make sure you can feel it? Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I feel it. Oh, we're just gonna push a little more medicine in. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm really getting scared because I already know that I shouldn't be feeling this if my epidural is still in and working. Pushing more medicine. Doctor comes in like, okay, how's everything going? He's like, oh, it's not working. Like, I can hear you, right? I can hear you. I can hear you telling them I gotta be put to sleep, and I'm already shaking the shit. So he's like, okay, it's not gonna work. I'm sorry to say, we're gonna have to put you to sleep. We're gonna have to give you a little strong medicine. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Here we go. So it's like 4 people in there so far. And he comes over like, just breathe this in really deep. And I'm breathing in, breathing in. I'm not going to sleep, but he tells the girl where the other lady nurse or whoever she is standing in there, push your throat right here. Right here. I was just gonna help you go to sleep. No, I'm already scared. Why are you pushing my throat? But anyway, after that, I was out. Next thing I remember is they were in the room like, hey, we're done. We're getting ready to take you back up to your room. Thank God. I'm still alive. We go back up to the room. My husband's waiting. So the doctor has already been in there with him and told him like, oh, when we got inside, she was bleeding. One tube on the right side was bleeding a little bit. So we took part of that out. So I'm just waking up and I'm like, is she for real? And it scared me because why, if I didn't get my tubes out, would it still been bleeding? And I didn't know. But that's all another story. But anyway, I'm in the room and they're like, okay, you might feel gas from when they had to blow your stomach up to let her be able to see the inside. Okay. I don't fart in front of him, mind you. But to get out of this hospital, I fought all day. But I'm in the room. I'm not hurting. And being that the virus is out, our daughter can stay in the room with us. So she just get pulled out for like tests or blood checks or whatever they had to do. So she's in the room. I'm back in the room and they're like, okay, before you get ready to walk or whatever, we're gonna make sure that you're okay. We'll come and help you. Fine. A couple hours go by. I feel fine and I didn't hurt or anything. I didn't need pain meds or none of that stuff. And being my epidural didn't work. I wasn't hurting. So hours go by. I'm not hurting, not passing gas, not. Right now. So hours go by. I'm not hurting. I'm not passing gas. I'm not pooping. Nothing, none of that stuff that you would think. Next day comes. She's like, oh, in order for you to go home, you have to pass gas. Why? Why me? But I'm still not hurting. I'm just waiting for it all to hit me like a train, but it never does. So she's like, okay, walk around. The nurses will put your mask on. You can walk out around the hallway. I'm already scared. I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk out of the room. I just want to stay in this room and do circles like a hamster in a cage because I don't want to walk outside the room. But to get out of this hospital, I walk around the room. I walk around the hallways. Hours. Husband asleep, babies asleep. No gas. No hurting. Just walking. So, we're in there an extra day already because nothing's happening. And she's like, okay, we're going to give you a stool softener. I tried stool softener. I drank coffee because everybody knows coffee makes you use the bathroom for whatever reason. Nothing was working. Oh, make sure you eat a lot because that'll help you go to the bathroom. It'll help you get those bowels going. Nothing was working. Not the hospital food, not the outside food, not the stool softener, not the anything. So what I did after the stool softener, I waited a few minutes. I told her, yes, I passed gas because I was ready to get the hell out of there. I didn't even tell my husband because I knew he would try to make me stay, and I didn't want to. So I told her that I did. We get in the elevators, and in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, what if I wouldn't have? So I asked her, the nurse, like, okay, what if I didn't pass gas? What would happen? She's like, oh, well, she would have just kept you another day. Nothing would have happened. She would have just waited. So you're really going to just wait for me to sit here and fart? I'm going home. On the way home, I told my husband, stop by, we'll get another stool softener. I'll work on myself because I cannot stay in this hospital another day. So we do that. I get home. You know you got to hold it in at least 15 minutes, I think it said. I waited longer just so I could make sure I was okay myself. And of course, it happened. I used the bathroom. And you can't push after you have the little operation. You can't push or you'll bust your little incision open. Mind you, my incision was like this, but when I first saw it, it was like this, tiny. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, the doctor told me it's 3, it was only 1. And it's like a little gauze over it, and they had taped it, so I couldn't see it. But in my mind, it was the worst massacre I ever seen, but it wasn't when I went to the doctor. But anyway, I went. I still wasn't hurt. I never hurt. It didn't hurt at all. I never had the shoulder pain, the stomach pains, the period feeling pains, none of that stuff. I was just scared that it was just gonna pop up out of nowhere and hurt just because of the videos I had watched before and other people's experiences. But it never did it. I never hurt. I never had those pains as they did in the videos. So in my mind, it was just gonna come out of nowhere, but it never did. And I went to my 6-week checkup. I was real sore before that. I was gonna do this video like before, but I never did because I know you don't supposed to, so don't come for me. But she was sleeping with me in the bed, and she was kicking my stomach at night, and I was really sore, like bruised, and I couldn't figure out, like, oh my God, is my stitches busting open or what? So my 6-week checkup come, and I go to the doctor, and I'm telling him, and he's checking like, oh, it's fine. Wait, let me take it back. After the operation, I went in a week after, and he took off the tape and the bandage, and oh my God, I was scared to look, but it was fine. It just looked like a scab was on it, more like a ball scab, and he said it was a scab and it would fall off, and it did. Gross. But the cuts look tiny, but now it looks really big, and I'll show you what it looks like. Don't judge me, but I'll show you what it looked like after he took the bandage off. And now, but the scar is like longer, and I hate it because I never had a scar. But I went for my 6-week checkup, and he's like, I'm telling him, like, look, I'm bruised, it hurts, I don't know what it is. And I tell him, like, well, she sleeps in bed with me, and at night when she's crying, she's kicking, and she's actually kicking my stomach. So he's like, oh, you're fine, it's just the baby that's kicking you. Oh Lord. So I had to move her a little bit because I didn't want anything to happen. And he's like, okay, you can start back lifting weights or whatever you want to do, exercising. Just if you lift weights, don't lift standing up because you can make your incision open back up. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. But I'm still not doing anything because I'm scared, because the scar is still pink. It's still pink up there, and it looks like it's not completely healed. And he told me to wait a few more weeks. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to go through anything. And he's like, oh, you'll feel it if it opens up. Opens up. Oh God, no. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, all the stories that I've seen, everybody was in a lot of pain. I didn't experience it. Maybe it's just me or whatever, but I just wanted to show you that everybody's experience wasn't as bad as others. Mine wasn't as bad as others. And I didn't really find any stories out there that people telling you like, no, I was fine, it's not hurting, or I hurt a little bit and it went away. But mine, it just didn't hurt. I don't know why. But if you're gonna thinking about getting tired, everybody's experience will be different. You could not hurt. You might hurt worse than others. You might not even bother you like it did me. But good luck. Wish you the best. If that's your choice, it's your choice.